We're going to cover a subject that you've already seen a highlights of and a synopsis of. It's been all over the newspapers around the world. It's been on radio. It's been on news. And as we speak, there's still incidences of people seemingly snapping, going crazy, regular people per se, and they start to eat themselves, they eat others, they have hallucinations. You're having people that are stopping on green lights in the middle of the street, not on red lights. You're having people that are just suddenly stopping for no reason at all, screaming at things that they see outside their window and nobody else can see what they're seeing out of their window.
I was just going to ask you, what is the purpose of this virus? And as far as in creating a zombie, excuse me, what is the purpose of this virus? And as far as in creating a zombie,
what is the purpose of the virus? To create a zombie. Virus means man-made. Germs and bacteria are planetary-made or creator-made. They have life force and stuff. A virus means I don't know what it is. It means it's been something created in a laboratory. It's a design made by aliens. It's something at Dulce. It's something at Plasma, Plum Island. These are research centers. That has to be made. Nothing to do with that in nature. That's something that they have made to do exactly what they want to do, something evil.
CDC warns public to prepare for zombie apocalypse. The only thing worse than getting swine flu is turning into a zombie. And just like most Americans, the folks at the Centers for Disease Control are vigilant about the walking dead wandering the streets, feasting on human brains and flesh. So vigilant, in fact, that they have released a synopsis of their plan in the event of an outbreak. From the blog post entitled Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse, if zombies did start roaming the streets, CDC would conduct an investigation much like any other disease outbreak. It's likely that an investigation of this scenario would seek to accomplish several goals: determine the cause of the illness, the source of the infection/virus/toxin, learn how it is transmitted and how readily it is spread, how to break the cycle of transmission and thus prevent further cases, and how patients can best be treated. Who? Sounds like the CDC thinks zombism is akin to SARS. The post also recommends an emergency kit with water, food, medicine, tool, cleaning supplies, clothes, important documents and first aid materials. So a zombie outbreak is like getting SARS after an earthquake. Sounds miserable. Maybe a better plan would be to provide every non-Indian American with a sniper rifle and a map to the nearest shopping mall or abandoned rock quarry. Everybody knows that malls and quarries are safe during a zombie apocalypse, and zombies don't fare well against us.
Let me start by saying this. It is extremely likely that a zombie apocalypse or an end-of-the-world scenario featuring zombies could take place.
Toxoplasma gondii is this really gnarly brain virus. Toxoplasma gondii can only breed inside the intestines of a cat. So it will then infect a rat, and it causes the rat to seek out cats and basically be able to taste the treat.
Let's begin with talking about toxoplasmosis. We use such a disease in our rats at our facilities and laboratory testing.
Basically what they tested was the difference between rats without toxoplasmas and rats with it. What they found was that in putting it in a captive situation and dousing things with cat urine, they deducted the fact that, most rats would run from the cat urine, and with the ones that are infected, they look for it again and again and again. They seek out the cat.
A variant and mutant of this virus can infect a human. Loss of rational thought and muscle control, reducing a human to their most prime and basic instincts. They become nothing but a ravaging, thrashing ignoramus, and it would be bad. It would be bad.
And there's certain areas of the brain that in fact lead you to become violent. I have in front of me a book published by NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, called The Biology of Aggression, which is, it's over 600 pages long. They're actually researching to see what areas of the brain they can affect to make people violent, and they're using rabies virus to do so. Right, I just want to bring out the fact that vaccinations can also cause violent behavior. There's an excellent book entitled Vaccination, Social Violence, and Criminality by Harris Coulter, which the listeners can obtain from thinktwice.com. Yes, that's completely correct. Once you get injected with viruses, if they go to your brain, they cause vaccine-induced encephalitis, and depending on what part of the brain is damaged will determine what symptoms you have. The parts of the brain that control behavior and make you violent are primarily the limbic system, especially the amygdala, which is near the ear. For years, but the point I want to make is that the scientists are actually researching how to make people violent. This is something that they want to have happen. I encourage all the listeners to watch the movie recently released on DVD entitled Quarantine, which actually shows them experimenting with rabies and making the people become basically ghouls.
There's been many incidents, and these are all incidents that you're going to hear now that have happened over the last 30 days. There was, and you hear so much about this, and I think on the film that you saw just before I came on here again, the Rudy Eugene, 31-year-old guy, what they didn't tell you was he was at a party that night before, and they all got high at this party. Now, the point was he was found on a highway naked. How did he get on the highway naked? How did he wander up there? Why didn't the police or these stoplights or these towers that take pictures of everything on there not see him before? Because they pushed him out of a car. He had already been drugged, and then when he was wandering around, this whole thing that he had been, he was also supposed, now they're saying this has not been verified, that he was also using cocaine, and that this cocaine the thing had been laced with what they call this bath salts. Bath salts now is a universal collective name. It may have DMT, it may have LSD in it, whatever it was. And that causes a heat to form within the body, and you start throwing off your clothes. It's like you're burning alive because everything is so hot. That's why he was taking off his clothes there again. And you're in a state of... and begin to attack him and talk to him and chew on him per se again. He lost his mind, completely out of it, and as I say, they didn't tell you how he got to that daggone highway again. In Bangkok, Thailand, this is all now within the last 30 days, these are all contemporary. They had 6 humans who began to roast fetuses of babies and sell them. They sold them wrapped in a gold leaf that was used in a black mass ritual for those who wanted to protect themselves from the creatures from the fourth dimension. They said they had to use newly found fetuses, and so this is a fad now where people are trying to use metaphysics in a backward way to project them against these aliens and things that are coming through on the fourth dimension. Notice I did use that term first time now, aliens. We're going to go there too, because part of this zombiehood are really what you don't think they are. They are what now is happening that you know nothing about. All this together is giving an overall facts. You reach a conclusion again. The man in New Jersey who stabbed himself 50 times and cut open his gut and threw his guts at a policeman who wanted to arrest him. Now, first of all, how can you do that and not just drop to the ground dead? That shows you right now that there's something else happening here. These people are no longer human. And I'll tell you, in a few more minutes, I'm going to tell you how this all comes about, too. Why you're not dealing with human beings anymore and why they can still be. These are things showing that these people are psychotic. It shows you're not dealing with anything that we can begin to call normal, and the fact that there's something going on our planet that we need to understand and know more about. We're seeing phenomena now that tell you that we're going to have to stretch our minds. We're going to have to understand dimensions. We're going to have to understand physics. But we're going to really have to understand metaphysics. I made that decision 40 years ago. Make it now. Get into metaphysics. It's the only way you'll be able to survive these things and have any kind of rationale of what really is happening.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Oh my god. What are you on? Oh my god. Asshole. Oh my god. What are
for instance, there, if I can find this, an Ace Hardware store in Nebraska that has what they call a zombie preparedness center and features a training kit where you can shoot zombies. They also have there what they call bolts and fasteners for broken bones that you can fasten your own broken bones if you can't get to a surgeon. They have glue and caulk for peeling flesh, and they have a deodorant that you can smell in an area if you're afraid to go outside because your building may be surrounded by zombies. You can get all this preparedness kit, and they give you a cheap price for it, off and on. If that sounds way out, hear it this way. The Center for Disease Control 3 years ago says that it was getting ready for isolation, quarantine, and government management, all for places in big cities and so, where there might be attacked by zombies. How did they know this 3 years ago? They have decontamination centers here in the Chicago area at the University of Chicago and Cook County Hospital. In your own city, you'll check they have decontamination centers. They didn't tell you what they were decontaminating. You thought it was going to be an atomic bomb. No, it's decontamination from these zombies and the blood that they're spilling in the street and so, and getting ready also to warden off these areas with high tension wires which they can electrify to try to keep people in or out, depending on which ones they're trying to contain, which they're trying to do.
I was just going to ask you, what is the purpose of this virus? And as far as in creating a zombie, what is the purpose of this virus? And as far as in creating a zombie.
What is the purpose of the virus? To create a zombie.